A lot of people ask me all the time how I got started collecting clocks. Well, this is how. I was stationed over in England from May of 1994 to May of 2000. In 1999, I was working a particular job. There was a conflict going on that the Air Force was helping out. So I was working about 15 or 16 hours a day for about 2 weeks straight. I finally got a day off, which was on a Sunday, so I loaded up the family and we went to the Bantam Zoo, not too far from RAF Lakenheath, England, and using my credit card to get into the zoo. When we get to the zoo parking lot, they had what's called a car boot sale going on. A car boot sale is typical to a flea market here in the United States, except for the people load the stuff up in their cars, vans, go to a parking lot, and sell the items out of their vehicles. The family and I walked through the car boot sale, and I saw this gramophone. This gramophone was made in the 1920s, and here's a label right here that tells you where it came from. If I can get the light just right, maybe you could see that. And this is the kind of gramophone that it is, but I purchased this gramophone and these two clocks right here without any money in my wallet. My neighbor was a professional photographer back in the 70s, and he took photos of my 3 purchases along with my daughter. But I talked to the guy, I told him the sad story of me working, and I was taking the family to the zoo, and if he was to set these 3 items to the side and given me his address when I got done with the zoo, I would go to the base, get some British money, and come to his house and pick these items up. He agreed, and we agreed on a price. He was selling the gramophone alone for 120 pounds, but I got the gramophone and the 2 clocks for 120 pounds. This style gramophone on the base was selling for 500 pounds. When I got it home, it didn't work. There's a handle on the side where you wind these, and it consists of these 2 pieces of metal that surround a spring, and this drum-like item has got something like 50 screws in it, and all the screws were loose. And after I tightened up all the screws and put it back together, it worked. There's a brake on this gramophone right here, and you release the brake, the record starts spinning. This is the only music control, volume control on it, except for a piece of cloth. If you ever heard the old saying, put a sock in it, this is where it comes from. You put a piece of cloth down in the drum, and it muffles the sound, it quietens it down. But this is how I got started collecting clocks, was going to the zoo and picking up this gramophone. There's a metal needle right here that attaches to this cylinder. The cylinder is hollow. You can actually use a thorn for that. And it takes the thick records, the old 78 records. You could play a regular record on this gramophone one time. Because what happens is the needle plays the record, but it puts scratches in the record, indentations. But it'll play a regular record one time. I tried it. The gramophone came with this brush, came with all these little parts. The little knobs are for the handles. I need to glue them back on. On the side here is a compartment that you could store records. But this is what got me started collecting clocks. Since then, I went back to the Bantam Zoo, back to the car boot sale, almost every Sunday and picked up something. Clocks at that time sold for rather cheap. People were over in England. It's a hard living over there due to taxes. A lot of people live together just to make ends meet. But a lot of people would sell their inheritance for next to nothing. And I picked up over 100 clocks in the time frame that I had left over in England. And since then, give you a quick tour around my house. I have picked up a lot more. The house that we were staying at the time, in the attic, it had this case, which is a gramophone case, and my landlord let me have it. Since that time frame, a few months ago, I went out and I picked up this gramophone case and this gramophone case over here for about $40 for the pair of them. They don't have the actual mechanisms. This one has got a mechanism in it, but it's not the right one. A lot of people would take these old cabinets and make coolers out of them. Coolers for storing cold drinks. They would put styrofoam, glue styrofoam all inside the cabinet, and that way when they closed the door, they had a cooler, and that way they could store their drinks. I haven't done that, but anyway, I got clocks all over my house, and it's all because of going to the zoo in 1999 on a Sunday at the Bantam Zoo over in England, going to the car boot sale. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, and God bless.